left a woman dead and 2 other people seriously injured. Happening right now, it's the 27th annual Downtown Parade of Lights. This is the second Salvation Army thrift store on the western slope to have suffered a major disaster this year. And snow is on the way for us.
I hope you're ready for this.
Oh, man.
Now, you're making the trip to Denver for Thanksgiving,
I'm
right?
hoping to, if the roads are good. Well, President Obama criticized Senate Republicans today. An Ohio coroner has released her report on the 3 people found dead in central Ohio last Thursday. Having too much fun indeed. One of my highlights is your new attire there. I don't know what they'll call that. It doesn't look very warm, though.
California boy's not going to know how to do it.
I know, he didn't even know how to get the ice off his windshield.
He's
like,
going to be Georgia boy pretty soon.
11 News reporter Aaron Luna joining us now live in the studio. And Aaron, some people are really upset that billboard came down. Max Schuett survived leukemia as a baby. Doctors thought his chance of reoccurrence was very low, but sadly, it happened. Good evening and thanks for watching this early edition of 11 News. I'm Natalie Plone. We're glad to have you with us tonight. That bad crash that shut down Highway 50 for hours yesterday, well, it left a woman dead and 2 other people seriously injured. An official with the Delta County Coroner's Office tells 11 News a woman was killed in the crash and that her husband is still in the hospital. The Delta official says the couple was from the San Luis Valley. The 2-car accident also injured a 16-year-old Palisade High School student. Clinton Pershaw says his son William is in ICU at St. Mary's. The hospital has him listed in serious condition. The accident happened on Highway 50 around 11:30 yesterday morning. Delta police say 1 car was going east when it veered into the westbound lanes and hit the other car head-on. The name of the woman who died and her husband haven't been released yet. That accident is still under investigation tonight. A manhunt is underway for a man who shot a state parks and recreation law enforcement officer in Utah. Officer Brody Young was shot Friday in the arm, leg, and stomach area. The 34-year-old was taken to St. Mary's Hospital where he's recovering. He's in critical condition. Authorities found the suspect's truck, footprints, and rifle along the Colorado River 22 miles southwest of Moab. They also found a T-shirt the suspect may have used to staunch a heavily bleeding wound. Authorities say Officer Young stopped the suspect's truck at the Poison Spider Mesa Trail and the 2 exchanged gunfire. It's not clear at this time what sparked the violence. Earlier this week, the tragic story of 2 twin sisters who shot themselves at a firing range in a suicide pact left us all stunned. Now, one of the women died, but the other, she lived through her attempt. Today is National Survivors of Suicide Day for the loved ones of those who have taken their own lives. 11 News reporter Kelly Asmuth joining us now live in the studio with more on how survivors in Mesa County are dealing with this emotional day. Kelly.
Well, Natalie, Mesa County has the... Back to you at the desk, Natalie.
All right, thanks. That's 11 News reporter Kelly Asmuth reporting live for us tonight. An Ohio coroner has released her report on the 3 people found dead in central Ohio last Thursday. The coroner says Tina Harriman and her 11-year-old son and family friend Stephanie Spring were stabbed to death before being dismembered. All 3 were struck multiple times in the back and chest with a knife. Their bodies were then cut up, placed in plastic garbage bags, and lowered into a hollow tree on an Ohio wildlife preserve. Information from the suspect, Matthew Hoffman, led police to recover the bodies last week. Hoffman has already been charged with kidnapping Harriman's 13-year-old daughter, Sarah Maynard, who was found alive last week, bound and gagged. The coroner says there was no signs of sexual assault. Officials with the Colorado Department of Public Safety are warning businesses to watch out for scammers posing as public health inspectors. According to the Colorado Information Analysis Center and the Attorney General, people have been calling food service businesses and leaving phony Colorado and California telephone numbers. In their message, they ask to set up a meeting to inspect the business. Although the aim of the call is not yet clear, officials say it does resemble extortion scams from other states around the U.S. Officials say not to provide any information to these callers. Most restaurant inspections are done by local health departments. Those inspections are not announced and they are conducted twice a year. Inspectors do not call restaurants prior to their arrival. The only exception is for new businesses or if a restaurant has changed owners. Restaurant owners who get these calls should contact local law enforcement immediately. Maverick is expanding its operations into Grand Junction. The company is building a facility to service oil and gas drilling equipment at Valley Court off of Highway 50. The Grand Junction Economic Partnership has been working with Maverick for several months on the project. The organization aims to continue developing the energy industry in Grand Junction. There's a place in Palisade where you can chop down your own Christmas tree, buy one-of-a-kind art, enjoy some apple cider, and visit with the locals. Okay. With each cut of the blade, the Hobeika family is closer to conquering.
The saws are really small and it's harder than it looks.
And with a little muscle power,
Ta-da! We have a tree.
the tree's theirs.
7 years we came here and got a tree.
Like the Hobeikas, many families flock to the Orchard Mesa Tree Farm in search of the perfect tree.
If it can hang ornaments on it and if it can fit in the house.
From Scotch pines to Doug firs and even some white pines. With 800 trees tagged to sell, there's something for everyone.
Most of these trees were planted in between 17 and 18 years ago. We've had them grow for quite a while now, and we've kept them trimmed up so we can keep selling them.
From hay rides to a crackling fire and tasty kernels. The farm prides itself in giving guests an experience to remember. There's even one-of-a-kind art for sale.
It's just fun to make the paintings and sell them and just make money for the Salvation Army.
Last year, brothers Nathan and Joe Williams raised $247 for the nonprofit, something they hope to do again this year.
We decided that the Salvation Army needed a little extra money this year.
And when they aren't creating their masterpieces, they're making sure their guests feel at home.
Well, I take care of the apple cider, the coffee, and the popcorn. I keep the fire stoked. And I sometimes help with the cash register.
The Orchard Mesa Tree Farm is located at 3338 C Road in Palisade.
Davey?
At 8:10 this morning, David Dunnigan got a call.
I was in shock, to be honest.
It's a call that's changed his life.
A phone call from my boss telling me that the office was shutting down November the 30th.
In 2 weeks, David will see his 21-year anniversary working at the DAV office, but sadly, he won't see his 22nd.
Monetary budget cuts. DAV just can't afford to operate the service centers any longer.
As the hospital services coordinator for DAV, David's been in the business of helping our veterans and their families.
The ones who's really going to bother me are the widows, because there's nothing out there. And those guys who just came back, what are they going to do?
DAV provides assistance in filling out paperwork for benefits and oversees the claims process. The agency is crucial to veterans with hearing and cognitive impairments. The nonprofit also gives vets rides to and from the VA hospital every day. David says while he's helped a lot of people, they're the ones that have touched his life.
They all do. That's why I'm here. Excuse me. That's what I do. That's what I've done for 20 years.
I asked David what he plans to do now. He says he's not sure what's next, but he'll find something. He always does. As for someone taking over the services the DAV provided, he hopes someone will step up to the plate and help the vets that fought for our freedom. Now, just a quick point to make. The DAV is housed in the VA hospital, but the VA hospital does not run it, again, because it's a nonprofit. DAV says the VA, though, has been very supportive. For now, Glenn, back to you. She was bright, beautiful, popular, and loved. Becca King had her whole life ahead of her, and tonight hundreds are mourning her loss.
She had a caring heart.
Dear friend Nicole Scav will never forget getting the tragic news.
I was headed to work, and so it kind of just shocked me. Everything in my body just stopped working, and I just kind of fell over.
Nicole's beside herself with grief right now, but trying to remember the good times.
We had a pretty fun friendship. We could be really serious and just talk about our problems, but then we always had a good time. We were always laughing, goofing around, just doing whatever. She was never bored, I was never bored. It just we clicked really well.
Nicole says Becca was really into acting and music, something her father echoed to me on Facebook. He says Becca had a quirky sense of humor, a beautiful smile, and that she could sing, dance, and love to write.
She was a good listener. She was always there for you. She was happy all the time, smiling.
Nicole knows life's going to be rough without her best friend, but she has a message.
If you're gonna drink, get a cab. It's not that expensive. Why not pay the few bucks to get a cab instead of paying for somebody's life? It just isn't fair for her. You know, she didn't drink, she didn't do anything like that. She didn't deserve that.